It's around that time where we have a new DC show hitting our screens, and around this time this video comes out, it'll be Matt Reeves' The Penguin. The Penguin is a character that has had many iterations in the DC canon, and many horrendous and fearsome tales that marked him as one of the most Batman villains of all time. And I can only imagine the suspenseful things that we will see the Penguin get up to on Max. And who knows how many feelings we'll feel about his dramatic past and current doings. But besides that, remember the time where he ran for mayor? No, not that one. The actual first time. Don't worry, it was just as weird. The man Cobblepot has ran for mayor or tried to be in the social scene of Gotham for many times now. But I think when you ask anyone, the first thing that comes to mind when Penguin running for mayor is Danny DeVito's Penguin in Batman Returns. But I think we forget this man and his original electoral run in 1967. So if you think you're ready to see this Penguin on the screen, you need to familiarize yourself with this legend. This smoking all the time purple-hatted legend. In an episode plot that does not coincidentally coincide with any real events whatsoever. Anyways, we open up in Gotham City of 1967, where everything is going as normal.
I'm being hijacked by Harry Hooligan!
Yeah, someone's getting mugged, but that's honestly normal for this town. But don't worry, because as a reliable police officer who just watches from 5 feet away, Coppleboy himself shows virtue by beating him up with his fist umbrella. They let anyone carry those, honestly. All over the city, Penguin is seen doing all these good deeds, like being nice to the police, saving a baby from being hit by a truck, and donating $100,000 to Gotham City charity. As Commissioner Gordon hears this, he insists that the only one who could stop a loon in a colored costume is another loon in a colored costume. So introducing us to our heroes doing something better left in the Batcave. Nah, he was actually practicing Shakespeare with a real dagger by accident. Like all young teenagers do. Honestly, look at Alfred. I think he was just hoping for it.
Oh, not at all, sir. I've always had a fondness for Shakespeare.
They quickly learn that the Penguin is running for mayor, and I'm sure like all of you, Robin is asking how can a criminal like him run for mayor? I mean, anyone who does unspeakable crimes like leaving a huge umbrella in the streets has no soul. Well, Batman gives us an answer.
I thought convicted felons were barred from holding any official office.
I suspect Penguin has done his civics homework and has discovered that paragraph 34A of the city charter has never been officially repealed. It specifically allows convicted criminals to run for public office.
The fact that it specifically says just proves how weird of a city this is. Like, how when you have villains like this, do you just overlook these details? Okay, that was pretty funny. It looks like the polls are showing favor for Penguin though, as voter appeal is 60% over the current mayor leads. Man, anyone can run and no one would just bat an eye. Man, I gotta try really hard not to reference real world events. Anywho's, our non-partial statistics team shows that Penguin really does have a chance in this race.
You'll excuse us, we have an appointment with the other candidate.
Don't have a chance. There's only one hope.
Of course, creating an investigation or possibly appealing the law showing the different crimes that Penguin has committed.
You, Batman.
What?
Me?
What?
Yes, Batman, you. You're the only one popular enough to stand a chance of beating that tricky bird.
I'm sorry, what?
The mayor is right, Batman. The Penguin will try to smear whoever runs against him. You're the only man in Gotham City whose reputation is spotless enough to stand up against him.
Okay, so the plan now is for Batman to run for mayor because the people of Gotham will favor him instead of the Penguin. I guess bats are just more popular than cold, flightless birds. But Penguin isn't afraid because this bird always has a plan. Or at least the concept of one.
We'll give the voters of this city the kind of campaign that they want. Plenty of girls and bands and slogans and lots of hoopla. But remember, no politics.
Don't make a reference, don't make a reference, don't make a reference.
Issues confuse people. See a big smile, hearty handshake, a very catchy campaign song. That's the way to win an election, clear?
Seriously, what's with this show tempting me to make these kind of jokes?
I want to conduct a campaign that deals with the issues. I'm convinced the American electorate is too mature to be taken in by cheap vaudeville trickery.
It's like Batman is staring at us like a teacher who says that the sub wasn't mad but disappointed. And the sad thing is, he's not wrong.
Hey, you! That's against the law.
Look, Bruce might have all this money, but you gotta admit, Cobble Boy knows how to advertise. Meanwhile, Batman is holding a rally.
Hello, Batman. We came down for your rally, and we're with you all the way.
And we brought our babies for you to kiss.
I'm afraid I can't do that.
What?
It's a rather unsanitary habit, you see.
My child unsanitary?
That's not what I meant.
Why was she so insulted? Like, come on, Batman, why else would I have a child?
Politics is wonderful. I can use all my lowest, slurpiest tricks, but now they're legal. Oh, I should have been a politician years ago.
The fact that this is one of the times the Batman 66 show seems realistic is honestly scaring me.
To see so many citizens who are concerned about their city's welfare.
Hey, it's the Madam Web audience.
Couldn't you get Batman to agree to one little brass band?
Batman feels that a political campaign should not be a vaudeville show, Mayor Linseed.
But this isn't a political campaign. This is a funeral service.
And if anyone knows anything about funerals, it's Batman. What, too soon?
My opponent is having a rally down the street. I hope that he too will address himself to basic issues.
I'm not even gonna comment on the dance, because what the heck is this guy's deal? I'm gonna tell my kids this was NSYNC. But don't worry, Penguin has some policies to share as well.
The Penguin Party stands for mother, country, the flag.
Such a pleasure to hear plain, honest talk from a candidate instead of the usual political mumbo-jumbo.
So many jokes. But old Bats and Rob here are suspicious of the Penguin's intentions, especially after they get a mysterious call that leads them to decipher this clue.
The Grand Order of Occidental Nighthawks. They call this morning and ask you to speak to the members.
I wonder if there's any particular significance to that name.
Want to feed it to the Bat Analyzer and see what we get?
Wow, Robin went immediately to use AI? Some people just don't respect old-fashioned crime fighting anymore. The crime fighters find the posse of the Penguin, amply called the... Okay, my joke tolerance is almost full here.
All right, Batman. Enough of the fancy umbrella play.
Nah, this is how the scenario actually plays out. Man, Gotham stores really do have everything. The Penguin leaves our dynamic duo in this trap and lets them suffer until next week's episode, in which Batman, the world's greatest detective and crime solver, has an ingenious plan to get them out of this. Hey, sometimes you need to know when to go ahead.
Batman, are you all right?
Yes. Thanks to Alfred. Lucky he insisted on making these new costumes out of acid-proof material.
You know, honestly, I don't know if I'm mad about the choice of the suit deflection, or the fact that we went sulfuric acid proof rather than bulletproof.
Huh? What? Acid-proof costumes.
Why didn't I think of that? It's so obvious. We later cut to a debate between the Bat and the Cobbs, where Penguin has a master political strategy.
Ever you've seen Batman? Who's he with? Criminals. That's who. You look in the old newspapers, every picture of Batman shows him with thugs and with thieves and hobnobbing with crooks.
Hey, that's complete slander. He wouldn't dare do anything as dangerous as associating with these criminals. Isn't that right, young minor I put into harm's way every day of the week?
Citizens, let me begin by pointing out some inconsistencies, Marx.
Honestly, you could have just let him talk. I don't think anyone would have been paying attention. But trouble seems to be around the corner, as there seems to be a special news flash.
City convention
convention hall is being robbed by a gang of criminals who have barricaded themselves inside.
Oh, don't just stand there. Get down to convention hall.
I love that the commissioner just gets mad at O'Hara. Like, dude, I don't see you running into any hurry. Our heroes do get there to stop them, but Penguin is there too. Not only fighting the goons he hired, but even having a moderator keep score.
This is Chet Chumley, inside Convention Hall. From our post here high above the floor, we can see the battle spread before us.
Anything to keep the viewers engaged. They defeat the goons, but think that it was all a setup.
But somehow the Penguin was knocking them down left and right.
That whole thing was a setup, Batman. That waddling weasel planned it.
Perhaps, but I'm afraid we can't prove it.
Maybe check their resumes. I'm pretty sure these guys have references from every crook in town. Like, I think that guy worked for the Clock King. The metric starts to come in, and the sway seems to move towards Batman's favor. But this doesn't leave old Cobbs and Shaw in the wind when Batman gets an anonymous phone call.
Hello?
The law says that the votes must be counted only by a duly appointed Board of Elections, Batman. And it so happens that I have them.
Hey, when things don't go right, I guess it's best to just stick with what you know. But that doesn't leave Batman and Robin in the wind, as they find Penguin's lair in no time.
How'd you find this place?
You goof, that's how. And no good mayor ever goofs.
Huh. The two fight off Penguin's goons and defeat them by putting them through a literacy machine. Hey, justice is given in print sometimes.
And now how the voters have to. Keep your distance! Keep your distance, I say! Keep your distance!
Nah, they wouldn't be that cruel to Penguin. Well, he is a criminal. We'll never forget that umbrella, Cobblepot.
Chance soon, the Convicts Committee for Clean Prison Government is having an election next week. You should arrive just in time to run for chairman.
Well, Batman is in charge of the weekly prison newsletter. At the end, we learned that Batman did win the election, but passes it on due to his duties as a crime fighter.
I'm flattered that your committee should be interested in me as a presidential candidate for 1968, but I'm afraid my Gotham City duties take precedence.
I mean, this is the only way to fix Gotham for the better. Violence. Goofy, bright-colored, and expensive violence. He did get another offer, though, this time for the President of the United States.
I'm flattered, gentlemen, but I thought your party had a candidate for 1968.
You know, that was probably a joke that was supposed to be dated. But hey, things happen. Yeah, although the new Penguin show might not be able to reach this peak of storytelling, I'm sure it will give us something good. But will they have the guts to have the fight scene with the punching glove umbrella? Honestly, we'll just have to wait and see. All up to you, Matt Reeves. All up to you.